and welcome back. I know it's weird. There's so many videos when I never post. What is going on? Who am I? I don't know. So today I did a eyebrow tutorial, a very highly requested tutorial. The highlight though, girl. Um, Very highly requested video. I finally got around to it. It's very informative. I just, gave you some step-by-step ways to go about getting a natural but structured brow like we're rocking today. Okay, so to get started, you want to look at your brows and figure out what kind of shaper you're going for. As you can see, my eyebrows are on the thin side, and I've got kind of this natural arch that I've kind of plucked into my my shape. I do have some stray hairs, so don't mind those. I'm trying to grow out my brows as much as I can. I like to use the Precisely, what is this? Goof Proof Brow Pencil from Benefit. I'm in the color 6. Some people like to line their, fill in their brows with a taupe color, and some people like to use the same as their hair color. I'm using the same as my hair color because I like to overdraw my brows just a little bit, just to make them look just a little bit fuller and have that specific shape that I'm after. If you like the shape of your brows and you have lots of hair, you can use like a taupey color, which would probably be, I would say probably like a 3 or a 4, probably more a 3 in the Benefit. But if you're trying to match your brow color so it's like more so undetectable, even though it's like kind of always detectable when you're filling in your brows, unless you're doing it naturally and softly with that taupe color. So a taupe color is just going to literally make them look like they're filled in and your natural shape will show. If you overline with a taupe color, you're going to be able to see the difference, especially if you have dark hair like I do. If you have lighter hair, then taupe color is going to be amazing for you, and you can do like the whole overline or whatever, and it'll be fine, right? You're gonna go in with your spoolie, and you're just gonna separate your brow hairs and brush them up. I see a lot of people doing this when they're brushing the brow hairs, and see how thin that makes my brows look. That's not a good look. Look at this brow. Look at that brow. That doesn't look good. So in all cases, you want to brush your hairs upwards because that gives you volume, first of all. Second of all, it shows you what needs to be filled or what you might want to fill. And thirdly, in my opinion, it just looks better. So you're gonna take your pencil. When I say light touch, I mean literally barely touching. Okay? I hope you can see that. Now, if I went with a harder touch, I'm like, I really want this shape, and like, you know, you really want it to show up and like be a nice hard straight line. See what happens? Not only is it thicker, it's dark. It's so dark. We don't want dark. We want barely, literally barely touching. You basically just, because it's a waxy product, you just want the product to touch your hairs in a way to pull that little bit of product, which will make the product go inside of the hairs and give the illusion that your brows are full. So super light touch. I personally like to kind of start right here and then make my way to the tail and then do above. So I make my first sharp line, and this is probably the sharpest line I do on my brows, And I'm doing this right where the hair literally starts. And I'm just feathering. I'm doing like light, not flicking motions because I don't want it to be super quick. I want to be really careful about where I'm placing this. I'm literally just creating a line. Let me zoom you guys in. So here we go. We're creating a line, and now that we've created that line, we're going to brush upwards. And I'm basically just running the pencil over my hairs. If you don't have a lot of hair here, you'll literally just see strokes. That's what you want to see. Like if you don't have a lot of front eyebrow, some people don't, do like 5 strokes. Okay, now the key to using this brush is not to use the whole thing. Each one of these have little bristles. They're like all tiny little bristles made into this shape, right? So you want to take just the tip of it and literally now you're flicking, okay? You're flicking upwards. Now if you have very little hair here where you can literally see the strokes, you want to go over top of those, and you could even go like this to them so that they blend into your skin and create an undetectable filling job. Okay, so now we're gonna move to this part. And so, okay, so for this part, I like to line right underneath of where my hair starts all the way down. Some cases I'll fill more if I want a straighter brow and not so arched like this is, or I will follow it just the way it is. So we're just going to kind of follow but fill that bit of that arch there, just like that. And now we're gonna pull down, but not too far down, okay? So if you go too angled this way, you're going to pull your face downwards. And we don't want that. That's going to make you look older. So what I've just done here is I've taken it and I've done in the direction that my hair is growing. I've done 1 stroke, 2 stroke, 3 stroke, 4 stroke, 5 strokes. And now that area where that hair is basically filled at this point. Any sparse areas you see, you can go in and hit that up with the spoolie. And now we're just going over everything so light. If you press too hard with this spoolie, you will remove the products that you put on there. So don't do that. What you want to do is just light. You just you want to move the product, but you don't want to remove the product. So we're just flicking. We're just flicking. Nice and light. Nice and light. Okay? We just want to blend it. Right? So it looks like your skin. Like that. Now you could stop here. If you're cool with this and like you like it, then you can stop there, but I like to go on top as well. And what I like to do is I brush these down so I can see my skin. And I go right over top. So the idea to emphasizing what you have without making it look like they're super drawn on is when you brush your hairs up, wherever your hairs stop, that's where you want your line to be. Okay, because when you brush and set your brows, that's where the hairs are going to be. So your line should stop just above that. And that helps to make them look thicker and just fuller. So we're gonna do that. I have an idea of where my brow hairs already end, so I'm just gonna brush these down so I can see my skin. And this is where you're gonna go just a little bit harder, but I'm still doing these light flicking motions. You want your arch, see the outside of the color of my eye? That's where my arch should be. My arch should be right here. I make the mistake often of doing my arch too soon. So that's something I still struggle with. But, so now I'm just lightly feathering it inwards so I can get that nice faded look in the front. Okay, as you can see, I've overlined here. And I like to do that because it lifts my face. It lifts this part of my eye. And now I'm just lightly filling in the sparse areas. Just kind of going over everything. Now I went too far down here. I don't like what I did here, but we'll fix that after. Now I'm going to take my spoolie and I'm just going to reblend everything. That's looking good. So next what we're going to do is we're going to clean up. Now it's not going to be like some extreme concealer cleanup here. It's really just to clean up anything we don't like. And I like my brows to look natural but like structured, you know? So now I put a little bit of concealer and I dip my brush in it just so it has just the lightest amount on there. And now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create a thin line. And all this extra right here, I want that to go away. Thin line. And we're just going to sharpen that. If you get color on your brush, wipe it off before you go back in. Otherwise, you're going to mess everything up. Okay, now I'm going to take the brush and I'm going to go on the top. So I'm going to bring my head down, manipulate your head so that you can see what you're doing. And I'm literally just going over top, not even correcting anything here at this point. But I like to just go over top. This is where I'm going to correct. Just make sure that nothing's smudged, or if I had a lazy hand, or from the brush of the spoolie after you use it more than once, there's color on it, right? So when you brush your hairs up, it can cause the color to transfer onto your skin. So just resharpen that line like so. And that is the process. So next you can go in with a sponge and press the color in. Okay, and that is the finished brow. As you can see, it's filled. If you're close enough to my face, you can see that there's something that's been filled there, but it's natural. It doesn't look like super extreme, and you've got a nice little shape there, something to nicely frame your face, and you can rule the world now. So that is the final look. I don't know where my brow gel is. It's probably in my purse or something. But at this point you would just go through and put some gel on your brows so your hairs stay in place, and it helps define the hairs a little bit more. So that about sums it up for this video. These are the brows that we created today, and I would love to know if you have any questions, any concerns. I want to know if you like these types of videos, because if you do, I like to teach and I like to help simplify your processes. And I would love to know any questions or anything that's like not clear. After you try it and you have questions, definitely like hit me up and let me know so I can like help you out with that process to like make this easier for you as you're learning. Tag me if you redo it and you like what you see and you post a photo on social media. I would love to see your befores and afters, or just your afters, whatever it is you want to show. I would love to see it. And that pretty much sums it up. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Why am I doing this? Bye.